What is going on? It is Anchor Overland coming at you with a brand new video. So I know it's been quite a few weeks, actually a few months since my last video. My last video was in November. It was back when I was over in Cleveland National Forest trying to find a campsite that I lost. If you haven't seen that video, I will tag it down below and up here in the banner. So go check that out. But I do ask you finish this video first and then you go watch it. So you look around, you see all this white stuff, you know, behind me. That is because I am back in Big Bear, California. The place in my very first video. Well, I decided to come back. As I stated in that video, Big Bear is my absolute favorite place to off-road in California. Just because of the woods and the trails, and I mean, hell, we have 3 Badge of Honor trails right here in Big Bear. It's crazy. Second favorite place is gonna be Anza Borrego. I haven't gotten out there yet to make a video, but that video is coming. But for this video, I am going to be doing some camping and some off-roading. So I hope that you stick around and enjoy the video. Ooh, it is chilly. Alrighty, so just taking a quick break, scouting out a possible camping site. This is actually one of my favorite campsites here in Big Bear. It is a yellow post site, meaning that it does have a supplied table and fire ring. However, even to all the snow on the ground, there's still a fire restriction, so having a fire ring doesn't even matter right now, seeing how we can't use it. But as you saw from the Jeep pulling up, I am going to talk about the elephant in the room, and that is the changes made to the Jeep. So if you watched my walk around video, which I did back in October, I will put that video up here as well. Go check that one out once again. after you finish this one. So I took off the tent, and I also took off the roof rack. Now I did it for two reasons. One, it's the colder months. I knew I wasn't going to be doing as much camping. Even the desert gets pretty cold. I did just buy a diesel heater, which I will be using for the first time today. So that's going to be fun. But yeah, like I said, I knew personally that I was not going to be doing a whole lot of camping. So I was like, you know what? Let me save some weight. Let me save some fuel. And let me take off the tent and the rack. Which I will say, I took it off right around Thanksgiving. So a week or so after my Cleveland National Forest video. And I have noticed a huge increase in fuel mileage. Huge as in like 3 miles per gallon. For a Jeep, that is amazing. I was at about 19 to 21 miles per gallon with the tent and rack on. With it off, I'm getting about 24. I drove roughly 200 miles from where I live in San Diego up here to Big Bear and only used a quarter of a tank. Well, quarter of the tank getting to the mountain. Once I got onto the mountain road, excuse me, I actually used as much gas as I used, or I'm sorry, diesel fuel, as I used on the highway driving to that point. And that was just because of the incline, the higher altitude, elevation. So Jeep is obviously having to suck in more air to make up for the air-fuel ratios. Seeing how I'm at 7,000 feet elevation, and down in San Diego, I'm at about 5 feet above seawater. Or sea level, seawater, whatever it might be. Now, am I going to put the tent and rack back on? I really don't know. Don't get me wrong, I really love the tent. Like an ungodly amount. I love that rooftop tent. Now, it is a cheap one. It was literally the second cheapest one I could find. It is a rough country soft shell. No bells, no whistles. Like I said, I do love the tent. It is a great beginner tent. But because I don't have it on a bed and I have it on the roof of the Jeep, it is such a hassle to set it up and down. I will link in some of the footage of me setting it up. It took me about like 10 minutes to get the damn thing set up, and about double that to get it put away. And that's only really because it's a soft shell on the roof. If I had a Gladiator or a Tacoma or any pickup in general, and it was on a bed rack, oh, it would have been 10 times better, faster, and it would just be more convenient. Also, the roof rack. Once again, the cheapest roof rack I could find. That roof rack, to be completely honest, is not rated for the weight of a full-grown adult like myself sleeping in a tent on top of it. I was exceeding the weight by about 150 pounds, the static, like sitting still weight, which is frustrating because in the ad and on the page from Rough Country, it shows that tent on that roof rack on an identical Jeep of mine. Well, it's a red Rough Country, Jeep, but still an identical Wrangler, not a Rubicon, just an identical, non-Rubicon Wrangler with that rack and with that tent. So yeah, I am looking at getting a Rhino rack system, like the Rhino rack, like backbone, I think it's called. But with that requires drilling into the body, into the, not the body, but into the hardtop. So that's a commitment. That's something that I have to decide that I want, and that I'm not going to decide a year from now or 2 years from now that I no longer want to have it. Or I have 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 holes drilled into my hardtop. So that's a decision I gotta make. Also with the tent, I think I might end up selling it and buying a hard shell, spending an extra $500-600 to $1,000 on a nice hardtop rooftop tent, a hard shell. It's one of those things where if you are a Jeeper, you perfectly you understand that we buy a lot of things on impulse, also out of necessity. I mean, we say it's necessity. We say, oh, we need this. You know, I need this lift. I need a rooftop tent. I need a roof rack. I need lights. I need this. I need that. And then you end up buying the cheapest possible ones you could find because of budget constraints. And that's exactly what I did. I mean, I put on a Mopar 2-inch lift, which I love, but now I want to go up to a Terraflex 3.5-inch lift. You know, I bought that rough country roof rack and tent when I should have just waited a few extra months, or maybe another 6 months, saved up and got really what I wanted. But each his own. Every single Jeep owner does it. I'm sure if you're watching this video and you own a Jeep, you've done it. I'm sure you put on, you know, a cheap $50 light bar from Amazon, wishing, you know, that you saved up, or that you are saving up to then, you know, buy a Baja Designs or a KC or something better. But you know, each his own. We all make mistakes, and it's a great growing and learning process. So with that being said, I am going to get back on the trail and get after it. Just kidding, I just remembered something. Also another difference change that I made to the Jeep since that walk around was I put on the Mopar Steel stubby bumper. The Fishbone Automotive one that I had, I loved it. It was great. It gave the Jeep a really tough and like mean look, but God, it was heavy. That thing weighs probably like 80 pounds. It was heavy. With the winch and the winch plate and all that stuff, it weighed itself down a lot. So I did buy a Mopar stubby bumper, and I absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Yeah. All right, for real this time. Let's go get after it. So I said it last time I was up here, and I'll say it every single time. It is just absolutely beautiful up here. It's kind of hard for me to like decide if I think it's like better looking, or I guess more beautiful, in the spring or the winter. Spring is nice because obviously you have all of the flowers and all of the wild grass growing in. However, winter, you just have this nice white, you know, winter wonderland. Now, with me being from Connecticut, you know, I grew up in the snow, but with me being in the Navy, I have been away from home for about 7 years now. I've been in, you know, California, and then I've been on deployments and whatnot. And this is actually only my second time driving in snow in about 7 years. Yeah, it's like my second time in 7 years driving in snow. And that's because of deployments, and before I had my Jeep, I had a Hyundai, and Hyundais just aren't exactly the most capable off-roaders, even if they are all-wheel drive. All-wheel drive and four-wheel drive are two very different things. Yeah, man, it's so beautiful, guys. Words cannot explain. So, slight change of plans. I am not camping up here. A few reasons. The main one being that it is windy. Like it's right now, it's 30 degrees with like a 20-degree wind chill. It is, even for a diesel heater, that's a little bit too much for me. Second reason is I brought the wrong tent. The tent that I brought has like a mesh top, and then it has like a piece of like plastic fabric that you put over the mesh as a rain guard. Even with the diesel heater on, it was like wind was coming up under the little tarp in through the mesh top, and just not, the diesel heater couldn't keep up, and I just didn't want to deal with it. So I packed everything up. I am going to finish this trail and then probably head back down to San Diego. It's currently about 4:30 in the evening, so still got like an hour and a half of usable light, and then after that it'll be dark. So let's hopefully I can get off the mountain, at least off the trails, before it's too dark, but we will see. you know, some people would be upset in my exact situation. You know, driving 2.5 hours, over 200 miles to go camping just for it to fall through, just for things not to work out. Now, yes, I thought I planned for everything. I thought that I had everything worked out, and I thought that I would have been fine. I thought that, hey, I have a tent, I got a diesel heater, I got a fridge full of food and beer. Why not? Let's go camping. But Mother Nature and my lack of oversight, lack of attention to detail, ended up throwing that plan awry. So now I can do something else. Now I get to wheel in low light in the snow, going down a route that I've been on before, but not a route that I've done this direction and with snow. So hey, why not? I've never done this trail reverse, technically. It's reverse right now. I'm going down the reverse way. But yeah, there's snow on the ground. It's nighttime. Ooh, a little bit bumpy. That I'm gonna have the time of my life right now, driving down this mountain on this snow-covered trail in the dusk. Well, is dusk in low light. I can't remember if dusk is morning or evening. But nevertheless, low light. I mean, hell, I cannot beat this. And you know what? I said it earlier, I'm gonna say it again. It's beautiful. Like, wow. Absolutely amazing. Alrighty guys, just made it off the trail. It is currently about 27 degrees Fahrenheit, or I think -3 Celsius. It's windy, it is cold, it's late. It's like just after 6:30, so it took me about an hour and a half, 2 hours to leave where I was camping to get to where I'm at. Only thing left to do is to air up my tires and then get the hell out of here. I want to thank you for stopping by and watching this video. Hopefully you made it through to this part. If you did and you haven't already done so, please Drop a like and a subscription. Both cost you nothing, but will help my channel grow immensely. So, until next time, Anchor Overland out.